Hello there. Wow. Perfect. Wonderful. Well done.
Okay.
I will say, to start this off, just before we moved to the new apartment that I live in now, I actually had my Wii U gamepad stylus not attached to the gamepad, and I'm like 99.999% sure that it's packed somewhere in like a miscellaneous bag, and I'll stumble upon it eventually. But for the time being, I have no idea where it is, and that scares me. Um, I just got done saying in the last video that like I am adamant about keeping all the original stuff, boxes, instruction manuals from all of my consoles and everything, and it really bugs me that I'm missing my Wii U gamepad stylus at the moment, but it is what it is. Um, all right, so we're jumping into Animal Crossing Wild World here on the Nintendo DS. I'm gonna bump up the game audio here because I have to do that between, especially in these videos, or especially when recording live. I have to bump up. Let me see. I should have checked the time. I guess I could do that then. But Wild Violet in live chat says, "Oh gosh, I was 1 year old when this was out." You were 1 year old. Jeez. I know you said earlier too. Me being too young to understand those stores. I was mentioning like Game Crazy, Toys R Us, Best Buy. Ended up getting my Wii at Circuit City actually. But yeah, I mean, but you're also from across the pond, right, Wild Violet? So I mean, like you might. I don't know. I don't know if those stores exist over there anyway. Regardless of age. From the HRA. Oh, goody. So it's a crappy rainy night. Let me check what I need here in Animal Crossing Wild World. Ba ba ba. Got my handy dandy notebook here. For any of you Blues Clues fans out there. I grew up with Blues Clues. Steve, not Joe. I mean, Joe's fine. He's okay, but he's not the same as Steve. Steve of Blues Clues peak. He's actually from around where I live too, which is kind of cool. He's like a local celebrity. Which I learned a lot about Steve from Blues Clues. I'm gonna do a small spiel about Steve from Blues Clues in a minute here. So I have his autograph and everything. I was just at a fan expo convention where he was there as one of the featured guests. I'm gonna teach you some things about Steve from Blues Clues. The dude's pretty cool, and he's got a pretty interesting career. But anyway, yeah. Wild Violet says, "I know Blues Clues. Watched it when I was really young." Okay, so we're on some level playing field here. The age gap is bridged by Blues Clues. It might be different hosts depending on the age, but I mean, we can all agree that Blues Clues, some great television for kids. Let me see. So I need koi. I need the Arapaima still, right? Or not the Arapaima, the coelacanth? Maybe not. I am gonna actually time travel right now. I'm gonna go back inside and time travel because this is the game that I need the red dragonfly for. Oh my god, these freaking cockroaches. I haven't been inside this house in so long, dude. Look at all these bugs I just randomly threw over here. I'm just gonna leave. Oh wait, no, I went in there for a reason. Crap. I'm losing my train of thought. Okay. Yeah, this is... I don't remember his name. I think it's Bud. I don't like him. The rain is beautiful in Animal Crossing. Oh my god, these cockroaches, dude. Stop spawning. I like all these bugs in their, like, respective cages or crates right now. They're just watching me squash their brethren, and they're just like, wow, I'm glad he just caught us and didn't try to murder us. It's because he didn't infest my house. Okay. Got him. Alright. Well, we killed a couple of cockroaches. Okay, so I can't do that from inside here. Let me save an end and let me change this up quick. Sentinel says, if Nintendo put you, meaning me, in charge for Animal Crossing 6, what spin would you put on it? Whew, that is a great question. I definitely have some ideas, and I've thought about this quite a bit, actually. And I don't remember... I feel like I talk about things so much on different videos that I don't even keep track of where I've said these things before. If it was like a live stream that I said it on or whatever, but regardless. I would say, hold on, let me, before I get into, this is going to be a deep conversation, so let me change this clock real quick. First of all, definitely want it to be the 15th. And let me pick a time that's consistent with the most possible. Alright, so this month we have the Koi, 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. It's all year, but available this month. The Piranha goes away after this month. The Gar goes away after this month. King Salmon. All day first half of the month. So you know what? We're going to do... Did I say all day? My attention span is terrible. Okay, yeah, it is all day first half of the month. So let me just do 12 noon. And we're going to go back to yesterday just to be safe because I want to make sure it's still the first half of the month. So we're going to go after the King Salmon, number 1. And I think the Red Dragonfly will just be easy as, you know, just easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Assuming it's not raining, in which case that would make it, you know, not possible, I think. Don't be raining. Yes, it's a beautiful sunshiny day. Awesome. Okay. So, now to, wait, Wild says your timing is off. My timing is off? What does that, what does that mean? You mean if you made my clock good. Because, yeah, I fixed, well, I didn't fix it, but, yeah, I resolved it. I'm hoping you're not meaning, like, my voice. My mouth is not matching my words or whatever. Oh, the date and the time. Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine. Let me see. So, yeah, Animal Crossing 6. Let's talk about it. What would I put in Animal Crossing 6? So, I would like to see a return. I feel like OG Animal Crossing. I'm talking Animal Crossing GameCube. I'm talking Animal Crossing, I think they're supposed to be in this river mouth, right? Animal Crossing on GameCube, Wild World on DS, City Folk on the Wii. Those are what I consider to be like the OG Animal Crossing games because they're kind of the same game to some extent. They're each different and beautiful and great in their own ways. But they're all the very similar play style, right? You're just a guy or you're just a villager, a person, a human being. Oh, release it. I'm going to go sell some crap. I forgot. My pockets are full. That moved into an animal town, right? That's all you are. And, you know, same kind of formula every time. You're left to move in, make a living, decorate your house, catch the bugs, catch the fish, yada, yada, yada. It's very simple. You don't have any real responsibilities in the game, and I think that's what I really, really love about these games, is that you don't really have any responsibility. Like, yeah, you have debt to pay off, but the only reason you would have to pay that off is if you want to get a bigger house, which you do, so you pay it off. And also, you're collecting bugs. You don't have to collect bugs, but you do because it's fun. So I feel like that's like basic Animal Crossing to me. That is the quintessential Animal Crossing experience. Then New Leaf came along, and I feel like it changed up the formula quite a bit. I mean, within reason. It put you in the driver's seat as the mayor. It allowed you to, implement different ordinances, so on and so forth, and start building things outside to some extent. And I didn't have a problem with that, but it definitely felt like, okay, we're getting away from the simplicity of it all. The thing that really made me fall in love with Animal Crossing was the sheer simplicity of it. The lack of responsibility. It's almost like a childhood thing. It's like a return to childhood, because there's, like, your entire existence is surrounding just childlike fun and, celebrating holidays and just having a good time with your animal friends. Like that's the jam. That is core Animal Crossing. Crap. But yeah, I mean, beyond that, New Leaf came in and it added a little bit more responsibility, and then New Horizons came in and doubled down on we're building an entirely new game here. We're building an entirely new experience here. They added terraforming. They added crafting. And quite frankly, not all of it worked. Like, in my mind, crafting is dumb. I don't think crafting is great. Quality of life updates are completely necessary for terraforming, because right now it's very possible, and I don't hate it, but it's definitely tedious. Let me try to catch this guy quick. Come on, give me a king salmon. That's a regular salmon. But yeah, I think New Horizons did so much right, but I think it did a lot wrong too. So with all that in mind, when I say in Animal Crossing 6, I would like to see kind of a return to the simplicity. I would love to see, I feel like City Folk, and this is partially me, nostalgia, but I feel like City Folk was kind of the perfect base Animal Crossing game. So, like, Animal Crossing on GameCube was great, but it had some quirks. It had, like, the camera wasn't great, how it shifted from acre to acre rather than the rolling view. And then that was corrected in Wild World, right? But Wild World had its faults. It removed holidays, most notably. And then City Folk came in and was basically represented the exact same game as Wild World, except it reintroduced everything that was missing. So it reintroduced all the holidays back into the mix, obviously improved graphics, improved other things, added motion controls, which was pretty cool. I still, to this day, I swing axes and bug catching nets with motion controls. It is what it is. But with that said, I think New Leaf was the one where it was like, okay, we did something really great with City Folk. City Folk is as good, like, as fundamentally good as we can possibly make it. Now what? Now we have to expand. Now that we got the formula right and we know what Animal Crossing is, now it's time to expand on that and introduce new things. So New Leaf did that. And I think New Leaf did it with great success. In my mind, it did get away from the simplicity a little bit, like I already mentioned. But and I think that's why I want in Animal Crossing 6, I think it would be nice to return to that simplicity. I want crafting gone. So I guess the big thing would be a return to the simplicity of 1 through 3, mainly City Folk. I also think it should double down on online multiplayer. So, up until... Animal Crossing has been a beloved franchise, but it wasn't until New Horizons came along on Switch, mixed with the pandemic, that Animal Crossing became a mainstay in so many like in the eyes of like just gaming culture. Give me 1 second here. Oh, good. A big old tire. Great. But yeah, like, New Horizons was the game. It was the game at the, the onset of the pandemic. It was, like, life-saving for so many people, myself included. And I think for that, it's an important note. And I think, like I said, it did so much right. I think terraforming is cool. But I think the only way we can get away from it is to return to, like, kind of a more basic version of Animal Crossing. I would love to see more online multiplayer, because now that the franchise is as big as it is, and it has the fan base that it is, Animal Crossing 6 is going to be a big title. It's going to have a... There are going to be a lot of people playing it. And current gaming culture just demands... Yes, Red Dragonfly acquired. Current gaming culture just it demands online multiplayer capability, and I feel like New Horizons did close to nothing with online multiplayer capability. Even New Leaf, I feel, did better. You could go to Tortimer's Island and do tours and catch bugs together and whatever. Even New Leaf did a better job with online multiplayer than New Horizons on the Switch, and that's pretty insane, seeing as they were, the infrastructure of Nintendo Switch Online, their first paid online multiplayer service, is what it is. It's pretty mind-boggling to think, like, New Leaf on 3DS did it better. But, Wild Violet says, I guess things changed as we get older, things turn different, and we all had our own version we played and loved, and I can see how this is your childhood. It looks very fun, and it's down to generations. Sentinel says, New Leaf's NPC text made the game feel alive. New Horizons dialogue is so dry. 100%, I agree with that, yeah. And yeah, like, I'm a huge lover of all things Animal Crossing. So when I criticize any Animal Crossing game, know that I'm criticizing it from a standpoint that I love it, and it's still a 10 out of 10 game for me. I'm just, like, comparing it. Like, it's comparing, like, the most beloved things in my life and trying to find fault in them. That's basically what it is when I look at Animal Crossing games. And, yeah. CSEP in live chat, hello. How did I not know you were doing this today? I'm glad I came here before City Folk. Yes, City Folk will be next up here on the stream. Let me turn around here and dig this bad boy up. Wild Violet says, New Leaf is my best game. It's my first one I ever played, and it will always hold a place in my heart. For sure. For sure. I even have been starting to feel nostalgic towards New Horizons already. Which might sound blasphemous, but yeah, no, like, New Horizons will forever be the game associated with me restarting my YouTube channel. So no matter what happens in my life, like, as long as the existence of my YouTube channel is something that's, like, in my core memories, New Horizons will always be that big part of it. Like, that was... How many night adventures did I do? Let's Plays into over 100 episodes now. Like, crap! I blew it. I knew I was going to spaz on that one because I was talking too much. But yeah, like, it's just... New Horizons... It's weird that New Horizons already has nostalgic value to me. Come on, be a king salmon, because I just blew my opportunity. No. Just a regular salmon. I need a king salmon. Where, oh, where? Where, oh, where is my king salmon at? Wild Violet says, I think we can all agree, no matter what games we played of this game, Animal Crossing is an incredible game that just feels relaxing and peaceful. I couldn't live without this game. Yeah, no, I am... It's insane, and it makes me so happy that Animal Crossing is as popular as it is today. Because, like, when I was a kid playing City Folk, I became obsessed. And I still am. Like, that was what sparked my fandom of Animal Crossing forever. And I remember going online and like looking for like Animal Crossing merchandise, and there was nothing. Like, the only Animal Crossing toys that existed I can think of were like these like figures that came with like they were like play sets. It was like a house, and I think it was from, I'm not even sure. It might have been GameCube era toys, quite frankly. They were Japanese imports. They did not exist in the United States, so you had to order them from Japan. And I might end up trying to find some of these to see if I can get my hands on them still, because now like there are ways to import things from Japan and whatnot. And people probably have them on eBay as well. But yeah, like that was it. That was all that existed for Animal Crossing toys. And now, Animal Crossing New Horizons got so big that there's just everybody is licensing Animal Crossing stuff. And it's incredible. It's incredible to see so many people loving the thing that I grew up loving. It's great. What's not great is the stupid fish and how many of these big fish that I've missed. Because I was really hoping to catch this frickin' king salmon today. Come on, king salmon, baby. Come on. I'm not even going to know what it looks like when I catch it. All these salmon seem like they should be kings to me. What implies royalty about these salmon? Neminsky, hello, hello. I am playing Animal Crossing Wild World on Wii U Virtual Console. Yes. Sentinel says, I remember walking into GameStop always eyeing City Folk, not knowing what it was. One day I got it and I was hooked. I had found my own little community. Crazy it blew up because of the pandemic. I agree, yeah. And that's the thing, though, like, also, Animal Crossing always... I remember seeing Animal Crossing on GameCube when I was a kid, and I never touched it. I never picked it up, because, again, like, I didn't know what it was. There were, like, the big ones that, like, everybody felt comfortable buying, knowing it was going to be a great game. You got freaking Mario Kart Double Dash, and, like, Sonic Adventure Director's Cut, and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. You had Super Mario Sunshine, you had... Pokemon Coliseum, all like the mainstays and whatever, but then there was Animal Crossing, and I never really thought anything of it. It was kind of there. 1 second. Come on. The GameCube games that come to mind when I think of Animal Crossing on GameCube and kind of like put myself back in like my childhood shoes, Billy Hatcher comes to mind. It was one of those, like, offshoot games that, like, was super fun and people loved it, but, like, it was like, I don't know about this. Like, I don't know. This Mario's not in this, so I don't know if it's a good game or not. Billy Hatcher, Harvest Moon was another one that comes to mind. All great games, obviously. Come on. Give me a king salmon. I'm over it with all these salmon. I'm over it. But yeah. Wild Violet says, I just wish more people would still play the old games, but I know they have those memories. It's sad, but people move on and grow up, but the memories are always there. Yeah, I mean... I don't know. That's one of the reasons I still play all these games on my channel, because like they were great games when they came They were great games when they came out, and they're still great games. A great game is not, you know, you look at it and you play it A great game means that you can play it at any time and it doesn't lose its value. Yes, obviously the graphics on these older Animal Crossing games are not nearly as good as New Horizons. That's common sense. Why would they be? You know, technology advances, graphics advance. Apparently the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever next-gen Switch console or Nintendo console is coming out next year, speculatively. Apparently it has, you know, graphics comparable and performance comparable to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. I don't know if that's true or not, but think about how immaculate an Animal Crossing game would look on that. It would be incredible. It's like, that'd be OD. That'd be so much power for an Animal Crossing game. But you know what? I am so here for it. And yes, so I think going back to the original question at hand, especially if that's the case, I think the thing that I would want to see in Animal Crossing 6, I think there's a place for an Animal Crossing country game. Like a country living kind of game. Right? But I can't picture an Animal Crossing country living game. It could literally be like Animal Crossing Country Life or something like that. You know what I mean? But I can't picture that not being a farming simulator, and I don't want an Animal Crossing farming simulator. Maybe a DLC to a main Animal Crossing game, but like not a full-blown farming simulator. We don't need that. We don't need any more farming simulators, especially not on the Switch. So I say that... Hold on. I say that cautiously, hoping that that doesn't come to fruition. Yes, we did it! We did it! We caught the king salmon! That's what it looks like. All hail the king, baby. Wait. What's the Duke Nukem quote? Hail to the king. It might be hail. Hail to the king, baby. Something like that. I don't know. It's good enough. Good enough. Duke Nukem, an iconic video game character that did not age well in our current social climate. We're crushing it, though. We're catching all the bugs and all the fish we need today. Now I just gotta collect all the fossils, and we'll have made some really good progress today. Red dragonfly for you, Blathers. Wild says, to be honest, this is making me want to buy the old games that I missed when I wasn't born, and see what they were like, and see how the games work on devices in the past. I would 100% advocate for that. I 100% will tell you that it's great. I remember getting I think I still have it laying around somewhere too. An Atari Flashback 2, which was like an Atari console, but it didn't have game cartridges. It was just like preloaded with a bunch of games. I don't think it's particularly old. I don't know what year it came out, but it was like a bunch of like iconic Atari games that were just kind of loaded onto it. It still had the joysticks and everything, like for controllers and whatever, but super, super cool. And like, there's something about playing the games, not remastered, not ported, but there's something about playing the games on their original intended consoles that is just so special, and it just feels good. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm just a nerd for like video game history. I don't know, but I think I'm a nerd for video game history predominantly because so much of it happened while I was alive, like during my lifespan. I'm not saying like I was like playing games when I was, born in 1996, but 1996 was like an absolutely massive year for video games, especially Nintendo. But it was just an absolutely massive year for video games. Why is he not even holding the fish that I just hand? Oh, it's in his other hand. Okay. And so much happened. Like, I'm 27. I was born in 96. And so much has happened. Like, the evolution of games from 1996 to today is absolutely incredible. Like, it's so cool to look at all the console generations and how the graphics have improved and how the technologies have improved, how the storytelling has improved. It's such an incredible art form, and it's only gotten more and more incredible as time has gone. Yeah, there are flaws to it, for sure. The more of a money racket game development has become, the more lucrative it has become, financially speaking, the more we see games that are pushed out, that are half-baked, that are on terrible, time crunch deadlines and what have you. And, like, that obviously sucks, and you don't hate to see that. Like, Cyberpunk is, like, the big one that comes to mind for everybody, I imagine. When you think of a game that was rushed to market, Cyberpunk is, like, the big one, because it's, like, this massive game, and it's fixed now, but, like, why did it take years for it, or, like, at least, like, a full year, for it to reach a point where it's actually functioning at, like, a playable level? Why wouldn't they have just delayed it a year and then released it at a playable level? It's ridiculous. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Why'd they roll it out with, like, things like that as updates, like holidays? It wasn't even a complete game at launch. Why didn't they just postpone it a year? I get it because of the pandemic, but the pandemic was not, like, it wasn't anticipated. They didn't choose that release date because the pandemic was coming. It just coincidentally happened, and it worked in their favor. It should have been postponed a year. That's my view of it. I'm glad they didn't postpone it in hindsight, but it would have made logical sense for them to have postponed it based on what we got. Like, Animal Crossing, the 2.0 update was the complete game in my mind. It should have shipped that way. And then updates being cosmetic, extra items, extra clothing items, fun stuff like that. Man, like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Together, yeah. Wild Violet says, okay, when I get the money, I will. New Leaf was my home. Time to explore others. Love Animal Crossing. Exactly. Do it. It's great. The whole Animal Crossing franchise. And once you've played all of them, and, like, I'm not saying this in, like, a gatekeeper-y kind of way. I don't want to gatekeep at all. Or, like, condescending kind of way. But once you've played all of them, you'll realize how each one has its own soul. And that sounds super corny and dumb, but, like, each one doesn't, like, people want to say, oh yeah, City Folk and Wild World are basically the same game, and in a lot of ways that's true, but they're still different games. They still have different mechanics. They're still very fun games. I'm not going to talk to him, because I don't like talking to him. He never has anything valid or worthwhile to say. But like I said, you can literally play all 5 games like I am, and you could find something unique about each one, and something to love about each and every one, which is not something you can say about a lot of games. Like, sometimes the sequels suck. Sometimes, the sequels are just, like, better versions of the originals, and it makes the originals kind of, like, obsolete. That is absolutely not the case for Animal Crossing. There are definitely things that are fixed in later games, but each Animal Crossing game is its own standalone game, and each one is incredible, no matter how similar or different it is from its predecessor or its successor. So, I love Animal Crossing for that reason. I mean, among millions of other reasons, but that's one reason that I love the entire Animal Crossing franchise. Let me see. Sentinel says 1996. You're so young. I'm 1999. I mean, yeah. I always say I'm old. I always, joke about being an old man, because I feel like the vast majority of, I want to say, my vocal audience, like the audience that tunes into these live streams and chats with me live and interacts with my content actively and is in my Discord server, are, like, younger than me. And I'm, like, I feel like there's a gap between, like, what, like, my knowledge of, like, oh, like, hip new slang. Like, I'm, like, on the cusp of becoming, like, an old man and being like, these kids with their hip new lingo, I don't know what they're saying. I'm, like, on the cusp of that. Like, I could still figure it out, but, like, it's like 5 years away from me being like, I have no idea what these kids are saying anymore. They're just making up words. I mean, I do say that already, to some extent. But, yeah, so it's... And then also, like, I have people, like, there's a large generation of people that played Animal Crossing for the first time in New Horizons, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, it's like for example, like when New Horizons first came out, there were like Kotaku articles and Polygon articles that were saying how people hated Zipper T Bunny and how Zipper T Bunny shouldn't be in the game. And it's like, are you insane? I love that you're here. I love that you've entered this home of mine, this place that I call home, which is the Animal Crossing franchise. But don't come in here with dog crap on your shoes and wipe it all over the carpet. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Don't come in here and act like you run the place when this is your first game, okay? And I don't mean to say this like a gatekeeper, but don't tear down my childhood characters just because you think they're creepy. Yeah, they're creepy. Zipper T Bunny is kind of weird. That's the point. That's why he's not even a real animal. That's why he's a dude in a bunny costume. That's like the part of the joke. That's part of the character. He has a zipper in the back of his head. Like, that's... And his, like, subtext is, like, talking about how stuffy it is in the mask. Like, that's the whole deal. He's supposed to be creepy. Well, maybe not creepy. I don't find him creepy. I find him cute. But, like, it's supposed to be, like, a weird, funny character. That's the point. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting too defensive over Zipper T Bunny. But, you know. There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between... It's a mild generation gap, I'll say. But there's definitely a disconnect. And I'm trying to get better with it. And also, like... being a streamer, I feel like I'm an old, disconnected person from, like, streamer culture. And I've definitely been getting better, but it's like, I don't need that butterfly, do I? That looks like a butterfly that's somewhat rare. It's mostly just, like, the lingo and stuff that it took me a little while for me to adapt and for me to learn what any of it meant. Wild said, Hopkins the rabbit is a balloon, John. Hopkins the rabbit? Who is Hopkins the rabbit? Is this one of these generation gap things that I'm talking about? I don't know who that is. CSEP says, I go play the 3 Animal Crossing games I own recently because they are so different and offer a different experience. Yeah, 100%. Oh, Hopkins the rabbit, in New Horizons. Okay. I was like, is Hopkins the rabbit like the UK version of Zipper T Bunny? Like, is there like a weird lost in translation from English to English in Animal Crossing? Like, what's happening? Crap. I forgot I have to do these one at a time. Whoops. Alright, so we got 3 fossils to appraise before we jump over to Animal Crossing City Folk on the Wii. Terabody, don't need that one, so we're 0 for 1. Alright, Blathers. Please. Let it be something good. Nope, 0 for 2. Not making any progress. Sentinel says, want me to blow your mind? When characters like Chip and CJ say, nyuk, it's supposed to be the tongue pop noise you make from putting your tongue at the top of your... You mean like a glottal stop type of thing? Like that noise? It doesn't sound like nyuk to me. But don't they also say, like, nyuk, nyuk, yuck, 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 like a weird laugh? So what would that be? Just... You know what? Now that I think about it, they are like beavers, right? So, like, I feel like that's on brand for a beaver. Or, like, whatever they are. I think they're beavers, right? A woodchuck. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Yuck, 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 yuck. Alright. That's all I got. That's all I got, Blathers. You disappointed me today. You know what? Yeah, let me sell this crap and then we'll call it. It's gonna be a little bit of a long episode here, but we made a lot of progress today. So I am totally fine with this being a longer episode. We got the king salmon, we got the red dragonfly. We are golden, pony boy. Let me sell this garbo and yeah. I just picture there's like a back room at every Nook shop that's just full of miscellaneous bones, dead fish, bugs, just all the crap that I sell to them. Anyway, not important. Alright, so that's what we're going to call it here in Animal Crossing Wild World on the Nintendo DS for this week.